Frank Scardifield. It's not a This Is Your Life, but it might as well be. Who are we sitting on the couch with here, and what on earth are those things on your lawn?
Firstly, this is my family. That's the family's not out there. This is my son Jamie Scardifield. Jamie, obviously. My daughter Tracy, and my other son Brent. And I do have another child, Shane. He lives in Melbourne, so we don't see him as often as we'd like to, but he's got his life over there in Melbourne and keeps in contact, which is great.
So he said son, daughter, son, and the child who lives in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up on that? Did I see something in that I shouldn't have? No, that's your other son.
Yeah.
All right with that. What are those things on your lawn? Tracy said that. What are they?
Quendas.
What the hell is a quenda?
I don't know. A rat looking thing.
They look like quokkas.
Yeah.
I think
They're in between a
Bandicoots.
rat. They're a bandicoot.
a little bit like rotten
Yeah,
eggs.
bandicoot.
Yeah. And there was like 3 or 4 out there before. I'd never seen them before. We're not on Rotto here.
As I said to you before, we never seen them before either, Wade, until we had Harley White and Michelle White staying with us, and because they're Americans, and they were up at night talking to, Michelle would be talking to her husband Charlie on the phone, and they started, at first they shit themselves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
When
nearly
they
did
realised
too.
they weren't vicious, they started feeding them, and now we've got a menagerie of them.
Quenda, quenda, quenda. Sounds like a Michael Bublé song. So when I think Scardifields, of course I think Smash Repairs, of course I think Speedway. That's the low-hanging fruit in my world. However, you've got such a huge profile in Speedway, not just here in the West, but you also help people over East when the opportunity came up. Why are you so passionate about Speedway, Frank?
Oh, it's probably because it hits you how much families are involved. Our background is football and cricket in this family more than anything, and we obviously have a lot of commitment to those sports. But when you get down to the Speedway and you see, generations of people and generations of people hanging out with each other, the classic example is the Priolo boys, for instance.
Yeah.
Their commitment to each other, their friendliness towards each other, the way that they want to spend their weekend together, which turns into a week, is just amazing. And I just see so much happiness in their families. So I suppose it was one of the reasons I stuck my hand up and started to get involved, and I've towed these guys along. Unfortunately, they can't come to the Speedway along enough.
And the Oldfields are probably another great example of that
Yeah.
passion and that...
Well, yeah, I'm not how to sort of describe the Oldfields because
different to the Priolos.
yes, certainly different Priolos, and the amount of shit they throw at each other is out of this world. And I don't know. I'm sure they haven't punched each other, but I'm sure they may have tried. So
Or at least lots of other people, and they've done it while the other ones were there. So Speedway's a long-time passion for you, right? Particularly when you went to England.
No.
I thought you were going to say that you went to the Speedway over there, but
Never
no.
went to Speedway over there. Never went. I think I went once or twice when I was a kid. Well, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
Once at Claremont, a couple of times at Bunbury. Then come back after 6 months in England 14 years ago. And Frank was all over Speedway. Absolutely loved
There was a
it.
sprint
Wanted to
car
get
in the
involved.
yard when you came
There was a
home.
sprint car in the yard. It wasn't mine, but yeah, no, it was unreal.
So you don't recall ever really being a Speedway fan. It's just...
No, we just got dragged along a couple of times when Frank wanted to take us to Bunbury or Claremont, and that was it.
He's a little bit persuasive. Have you noticed that? When he's got his...
Yeah, absolutely.
When he wants something to happen,
Yeah,
it usually happens.
Yeah, he gets involved. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good thing, though. So, do you recall anything about your years in Speedway now that you no longer come, by the way?
No.
You were a Speedway fan, right? You and Mum and Dad were big time into Speedway at one point, correct?
Yeah, I just enjoyed the free holidays.
To America, to that big race in August that you couldn't
Yeah, I
remember
couldn't think of
before.
the name.
Now, these days, of course, you got a bit of a different life. Your partner's far more interested in motocross and things like that, and two-wheels sort of things.
Oh yeah, stuff like that, or just staying home.
Yeah, well, so you live a fairly quiet
Working.
life.
Yeah, and we've got kids, so it gets a lot harder when you've got kids.
Yeah, something
Especially
about that.
9, 10 o'clock at night.
Tough life, really. So we're talking about, does Speedway give back to Scardifields, though? Because that's something I wanted to ask you. I really hope that my industry, our industry, gives back to what you guys give in.
A little bit. We've got probably every second customer now related to someone at the Speedway or been told to go to Scardifield, so there's a positive for getting Frank all these years of dragging us along. But you know what? I've got some really good friends from there. The Bradfords are one of the best boys you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And women. Nothing more fun than going to the Speedway and having a few tins on the hill with them. So
Yeah, or anywhere, really.
well,
Having a few tins with the Bradfords is a thing.
yeah, so it doesn't stay at a few usually with them.
No.
There's probably about, I don't know, 20 or 30 after a while, and
Yeah.
there's 20 or 30 Bradfords to go with it.
So we mentioned the Priolos, the Bradfords, the Oldfields, and we're getting a sense already of the community that is in Speedway. But what's it like in cricket? Because you were like long-time president of the High Wycombe Cricket Club as well, and you guys are all...
Look, there's a lot of history there. It's not just the cricket. I was a councillor for the area. I've been lucky enough to be flown over east and to the Allan Border Medal for my time in cricket and stuff like that.
Wowzers.
I was vice
Where are the...
president.
Oh, there's... No, it's not a mustache. Nobody's rolling an Allan Border mustache? Or a boonie?
No,
They used to.
Did you really? Oh, there's got to be photos of that somewhere,
is
doesn't there?
photos, so I could give you some. And then I was vice president of the Swan Districts Football Club for 5 years, so as well as being involved with the local football club. So there was a massive community involvement from myself. I don't know. I suppose I've always been wanted to be a people's person, wanted to be respected, wanted to do things for anything, and probably I just want to see people happy. And then when I started getting involved with Speedway, as Brent just mentioned, 14 years ago, he went to England to play cricket and come back and there was a sprint car in the shed. I will quickly just tell you that story. I walked into the Boab Tavern one evening.
Oh, that's where you went wrong. The old Boab.
Wayne Scroop was there, and me and Wayne were adversities. Even though he coached at the cricket club, we had a bit of a falling out, but he still was involved in the area. He told me Kai Scroop, who was 16, was going to drive a sprint car next year, and I said, yeah, I thought in my own head, what a load of shit. The kids don't drive sprint cars.
Yep.
Anyway, I said to him, if Kai drives a sprint car next year, Wayne, I'll sponsor you. And I thought that was the end of it, because Kai wouldn't happen. But it did happen, and look, it's been a journey, but a very, very enjoyable journey. As Tracy just said, meeting some of the best people you could ever meet.
Now, interestingly, I shot an interview with the John Day Racing boys and girls. Yep, I saw that up there, right next to the model that's on top of the air conditioner just there. And they kept saying Scardifield Smash Repairs, Scardifield Smash Repairs. And John Day Smash Repairs was an icon in Western Australian industry, in your industry as well. So I find it amazing and cool and all those sort of things, but also a little bit ironic that there's a smash repair family helping a smash repair family.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, they bring a lot of work into us as well. You know, we have painted a few of their utes already, which is only our sponsorship's only been there for the last couple of years with them.
Yep.
But yeah, no, they're a great bunch of people. They actually take my son out a few times, take him for a spin and that sort of stuff. So they're family orientated as well. So they're great.
Is there an actual colour, John Day Orange? Do you have
No
it like
such
kept
thing.
on
They're
the...
all different colours. Every single ute's a
No.
different colour. It is ridiculous.
What? Wait, hang on a minute. Excuse me?
Yeah,
We do
they're
get
all
technical
different.
now.
Yeah,
I think
it's very technical.
I think they're all orange.
They're all orange. but
Thank
they're all
you.
I
different
think
shades
that's
of
all you
orange.
need to know.
Oh,
All different shades of orange. And we found that out.
Re- Really?
Yeah, all different shades.
Well, I was for a second there. I was going to go out and tackle a Quenda. I wasn't sure what the hell that meant. What is the smash repair industry like in Perth in 2024? Because different when he ran it back in the day, I'm sure.
Probably the word busy is probably the best word for it now.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it's easy, but if you're busy, there comes good times with that too, because you're forever working means you're making money. But busy is the best term at this stage, and frantic, because everyone wants their car back yesterday, and the industry's in a bit of a hole with parts and stuff coming from everywhere overseas, and not enough here. Next thing, you've got a car off the road for a headlight that's not in Australia, and that's Australia for you. We don't produce anything, so we can't carry it. So it's a pretty tough one, and expensive now.
And you guys meet people at their worst at times as well, because they're the most stressed out that they've ever been. It's almost like being a surgeon, right? No one ever rolls in and says, when you get time, just take care of that little nick that the wife put in the car with the shopping trolley.
People in tears and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, from accidents, and even just scratching their car at the shopping centre, and they get into tears, and you got to try and do a quote for them and console them at the same time.
So a man or woman, this is not a sexist thing, have you ever had someone drive out of your shop, drive into something and drive it straight back into the shop?
I don't know if I have. Or was it
Yeah,
in your own? Was it your own?
Hang on, Trace, have you got a
Not
memory
me.
here? A core memory? You just said yes, you have.
Didn't you recently have
We
a
definitely
player?
have. There's no doubt, but there is an AFL footballer that plays football in here
wow.
that brought his car in, recommended to us by a Speedway commentator.
Should we?
So Carl Langdon said,
leave Carl Langdon out of it. We won't.
oh, we just mentioned his name, go on.
We won't. It wasn't him himself. He
No.
was doing the right thing and referring someone to us.
Yes,
And he's done a lot of that, and we're thankful.
Been
He's very,
fantastic.
very good like that.
yes.
Only this time we lent a car to the person that we own, just as a goodwill gesture, twice, and both times come back with claims on them. So we won't mention the name. He does play for the Eagles, and
Thank God you didn't completely give it away.
he is actually a very, very good footballer at the moment. So I won't put him in the hole too much.
And a great guy.
Wow. Is there anything you've seen in the industry where you've gone, no way that just happened? It must be a fascinating industry.
Well, I was invested. Yeah, it is, and I was one of the 4 repairers in Western Australia that got to sit down with the government about 5-6 years ago into the steering by insurance companies. Actually, it's probably longer than that, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So the steering means that they're sending their work to the shops that they think they can control. Is really a good way to put it.
There's one of those things, Trace. There it is. Very briefly, we just saw it in the background. Go on.
So they do that, and then obviously there was the tow trucks, and we're looking into the tow trucks, and the tow trucks take into the vehicles to certain repairers, etc. So that was probably one of the most interesting times, and we have seen a change from that meeting. I will say that we have seen a change, but I think it's due to the fact that everyone is so busy now. So it's not, if you do lose a job, if you damage your car weight and you're with someone like Amy or something like that, and they said, hey, it's got to go there, you probably wouldn't kick up your heels.
Yeah.
And we do. We get it all the time. Glenn Mears rang me on Friday he just damaged his car again. He's only just got it back. But
Again.
anyway. And his insurance company told him to go somewhere else, and he said, no, we don't go anywhere else. So I suppose that's the thing.
So
that
you have
stops
rights.
me.
People don't realise they have rights.
Exactly. They do have rights, but you've got to remember, it used to be said once you sign a claim form, you don't sign anything these days. It's just straight away done on the internet, on the forms online, I should say. But when you do give that opportunity to the insurance company, they actually own the repair. So it can be argued, but most insurance companies will be okay. But it's up to the owners, and this is where we find people like the Speedway world, they won't accept it, mate. Their car's going there, and that's it.
Yeah. West Aussies, born and bred? Yeah. Clearly you're an Eagles fan, judging by the way you just assassinated one of the greats of the club. Definitely Eagles, right?
Yeah, I think we all are. What day is it? It's one day after what happened on the weekend.
But let's go back to the week before when we towed up Melbourne.
You're right, and I sat there, and there's a place where all the players run out. I can't remember. It was like the field
race.
club or something like that.
Yep.
I sat there next to a bloke I'd never met before, watching Melbourne warm up, and I was sitting there going, "We are going to get absolutely pounded here." And I walked into him about 3/4 time, and he looked at me like I'm an idiot. He looked at me and he said, "You're wrong, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah."
Maybe we're just 1 week too early.
Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
you turned the TV on about this time yesterday, he'd be sitting there saying the same thing as I was saying.
Western Australia, I mean, I'm a proud West Aussie, born in Subi, and our Eagles tragic since pretty well day one. There is definitely a different culture in Western Australia. I used to think it was an East Coast versus WA racism thing, but to be honest,
That's not the word.
it's WA. WA is the ones that Australia ends at the Nullarbor Plains, correct?
Yeah.
So what is it like in business like that? Is it...
No, I don't really know actually. Not for us. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of local pride, like massive.
Oh, yeah. I don't feel like we're in competition with anyone. I really don't feel that way because we don't have to compete with anyone. We just got to be the best we are ourselves, you know, produce the best quality of work we can.
Did you always want to be in the smash repair industry?
No.
I'm feeling
not
no.
at all. Not at all. I always thought I'd be something else, a cricketer for WA or something like that instead. It'd be much easier. But yeah, no.
Well, you're not yet.
No, never gonna be. So, no, I didn't. I left a job. Oh, I can't remember how many years ago, but whenever it was, at Steel Blue.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Was in the warehouse there, run the warehouse. Got the sack from there, and then after 2 weeks of not working, Frank made me come and work for him. That was it. Never left.
Made you.
Yeah.
Got his way.
Yeah.
Did you get forced to work in the business as well?
Yeah, especially when I was suspended from school. That was the key to getting me there for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're really the only good part of this family, the well-behaved one, Trace.
Yeah. I have worked there, but
I was said with a lot of...
I've
Yeah,
worked there, so it's okay.
So what did you... Were you always going to do that? Or was it just in between jobs?
It was just in between jobs.
Yeah, okay.
I would like to do
Now she's
more,
not
but
allowed.
no,
Now
I'm
she's not allowed.
No.
So she's a bit like this bloke who's not allowed to be around anymore either. So let's talk about that. The elephant in the room. You're basically paying him to stay away.
Well,
Is that what I'm hearing?
He's been squeezed out a little bit. But
Squeeze.
There's no room for more than one Frank in this world. So
And you're the second one.
I'm as close to as anyone reckons I can get to him. So yeah, I think I've learned a bit from him, and I've learned enough. I think he's ready to move on to bigger and better things and a bit more Speedway time, I think.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
Did you see how he was gently trying not to just tear your heart out then? I think he's for bigger and better
What a
things.
perfect opportunity.
But we are, Jamie just touched on it, we are very similar in our ways. We rub people up the wrong way pretty often, and we get on really well with some other people. So, I don't know.
Look at these two just going, well, yes.
And it does
we're the
happen.
peacekeepers.
Yeah.
I think Brent's seen me and Jamie at our best at work when we disagreed with something. So probably the easiest way was to move aside. But look, I'm really happy with my life. It saddens me to say sometimes I've never been happier because obviously Vicky passed away. Six years ago, but you got to look at it and go, well, you know, she's not suffering anymore, which was a huge relief.
Yeah.
It's terrible for these guys to lose their mother, but
Yeah.
then on top of that, I'm at a different stage of my life, and in a stage where I'm worrying about buying a house, worrying about how much money I need to pay for the kids' schooling or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So so the happiness is 9/10 because of my position in life, and then obviously I met a partner, and I now get to travel, and she's become an absolute Speedway fan too. So biggest Speedway family than my family is. If you sit next to her at the Speedway, you're going to get bumped and jumped and pushed, and as cars go around corners and stuff like that, because by Christ, she gets right into it.
So you guys will eventually get that passionate about Speedway again. I'm feeling like you're ready to come back to the sport.
Hopefully my son can ride.
Probably at a point after stopping sport myself.
Yes.
The spare time on a Saturday's there.
Yeah.
Is it spent travelling an hour back and forth from the Speedway with the kids at 10:30 at night? I'm not sure. But
He's
it's
very
on-
dry, isn't he?
it's
I
on
like
the
this one.
menu.
He's very dry. Is he the most dry of all you guys?
Well,
Well, What's helped these guys, and particularly Brent and his young bloke Lockie's an absolute fan, and so is Liv, but is the fact that Clay Purview come along, and if it wasn't Clay Purview, now obviously we're sponsoring Channel 7 so that we can watch our own ads. And
Been in a smash? Contact Scardifield Smash Repairs and they'll get you back on the road faster than a sprint car can bust a lap at the Motorplex. Our state-of-the-art premises and environmentally friendly water-based paint system sets the standard in automotive refinishing. Get it done fast and right the first time. For all your panel and paint needs, simply check out scardifieldsmashrepairs.com.au for a quote. Scardifields, proud supporter of WA Speedway.
Yes, and they're very good too, by the way. They're very good.
so that's made it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden that's taken into some homes that wouldn't have been there, but also by the same token, the risk that the Motorplex took was the fact that, there mightn't be so many bums on seats. And in my case as a family, that's probably the case. But I know that it's far more reaching than that. It gets to other people, and obviously these guys get to join, and then I can have a conversation with them on Sunday about a race because they've seen it.
Because you would anyway. Because you would anyway, right? He's always going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I hope you're very proud of the name that you have in this industry, because Scardifields is a very, very well-respected and very well-known brand. And I hope that's reflected in your business, but I hope you get some kind of sense of it when he's laying on the beach in Thailand. That you guys are working hard to...
Yeah, no, I'm very proud of what we've established now, and it's completely different from when we first got to High Wycombe. When we first moved from Bayswater, it was, I think after the first year we thought we were in trouble. We're in trouble here, and I think it was around at the same time that Frank actually got involved with Speedway. Actually, the same, very similar time that it all changed for us, and it really took off.
Good. I'm excited to see it doing so well. You'll be coming back to the business and the Speedway soon, Trace.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lot of very sarcastic comments in this family. I'm sensing that they got that from you. Is that what you think this...
Dry, yeah. I'm sure I've heard him up on stage at the cricket club talking about people at the club and just letting everyone know in the room that he's the boss.
Really? This has been really good for me. I've really enjoyed this this chat. It's been very cathartic for me. I think I understand a little bit better.
Yeah. Public speaking was something I never ever practiced, but I just have never been ever scared of doing it. So Jamie has seen me deliver a few things over the years, and I certainly, unfortunately for me, I don't do any preparation. I just stand up and make a speech, and the first thing that comes into my head is what you're going to get. And if you look at me wrong or you cause a little bit of not listening in the room, then you'll get pointed out. So, Wade,
You must have had a wonderful life.
Wade, I do want to say that, we're not only helping Speedway, we help people within the industry, as you well know. You know, when Wade comes over here, we're happy to supply you with a car. Matt Nolte, anyone else that comes over here, Toby Balboan has done the same thing. Because we, as I have to say we, but really, it's probably I understand what Speedway is. It's not just those cars racing around the track, and it's not the cars that just come into my workshop. It's a big, huge picture that we try and get involved with, and it works really well for us.
I just want to say thank you for everything you do for all of us. Hurry back to the Speedway. All right, we know what it used to look like when you were there. You can come back anytime you like after the cricket career is over.
No, it's been over for 12 years now.
Just live in denial. It's okay. And thank you for everything you guys do as well. I really hope the Speedway industry continues to support you. And thanks for your time tonight. And thank you for explaining what the hell that thing is out there.